Some steps to take. Love yourself. Unless you truly respect yourself, you cannot expect others to love and respect you. Trust yourself. Don't hesitate to make decisions about your life. If you set your goals and have confidence that you will succeed, you need not fear making decisions that will help you reach these goals. Accentuate the positive. Sure, you may have some failures along the way, but don't dwell on them. Focus on the achievements you make day by day, and your script of success will be reinforced. Self esteem is perishable. It must be constantly nourished and reinforced. It is nourished by words, by deeds, by attitudes, and by experience, and by your own commitment you maintain it. Demand a great deal from yourself. When you achieve a small success, congratulate yourself. But this is not the time to become complacent. Use small successes as incentives to seek even higher achievements. Repeat to yourself the adage made famous by the French philosopher Émile Coe: every day, in every way, I am getting better and better. Every day, in every way, I am getting better and better. Give yourself a pep talk. There are times when we need a bolster our self-esteem to bolster our self-esteem. Emulate the coach of an athletic team. When the team is falling behind, the coach reaches out to motivate the team. He or she gives them a pep talk. With well-chosen words, the coach instills enthusiasm, self-confidence, and not just the desire to win, but also the commitment to put all their efforts into reaching the goal. As individuals, we need pep talks too. We need pep talks when our enthusiasm for life wanes, when we are depressed, when we have suffered failures, when our self confidence fades and our faith in ourselves is shaken. But where's the coach? We must be our own coaches. To change the script in your mind, give yourself a pep talk. Tell yourself you are good, you are a winner, you have succeeded in the past, and you will succeed again. By giving yourself a pep talk, you are planting seeds of self esteem in your conscious mind, which, when repeated over and over again, will seep into your subconscious mind and become the roots of your behavior. This self esteem follows us throughout our lives. In our youth, it pushes us forward. In our middle years, it sustains us. And in our years, it renews us. Make it a practice to replace those negative words in your personal script with positive words. Instead of words of despair, plant words of hope. Instead of words of failure, create words of success. Instead of words of defeat, think words of victory. Instead of words of worry, add words of encouragement. Instead of words of apathy, plant words of enthusiasm. Instead of words of hate, use words of love. Replace all negative words with the words of self esteem. And just as day follows night, self esteem and confidence will permeate your life. Meet and beat obstacles. Self confidence can be shaken when faced with setbacks. Plans go wrong, unexpected obstacles develop, and everything seems to be collapsing. Now it is the time to renew your faith in yourself. Now is the time to call up all the reserves God has given you and meet and beat the problem. you will succeed, and in that success, you will enhance your self-esteem. The best executive commonly agree that the bigger the obstacle, the more self-confidence is demanded and the more valuable the experience is. Early in his career, Aggie Lafley, who became the CEO of Procter and Gamble, was in charge of the company's Asian operations during a major Japanese earthquake and the Asian economic collapse. He said that he managed to lead his company through these formidable obstacles by never losing faith in himself and by keeping in mind that one learns 10 times more in a crisis than in normal times. Similarly, Jeff Immelt, who is now the CEO of General Electric, was put on the spot in a crisis in 1988 when millions of refrigerator compressors were found to be faulty. CEO Jack Welch put him in charge of fixing the situation even though Immelt had no prior experience with refrigerators or recalls. He said there is no way he'd be CEO today if he hadn't had the confidence in his ability to deal with the impossible job, a situation many in GE saw as an insurmountable obstacle. Another example of overcoming a serious obstacle is that of Cisco CEO John Chambers. He is well known as one of the most dynamic, electrifying speakers in the entire business world. He memorizes just enough of his presentation to have it seem off the cuff. He leaves the podium to address people personally. He never loses eye contact with his audience. He is an on-stage wizard whose speeches the tough business press characterizes as astonishing. It is hard to believe that this articulate man had to overcome major obstacles to give him the self-confidence to get up before an audience. And what gave him this self-confidence? The power he gained from having to overcome dyslexia. In order to manage speaking to audience at all, Chambers had to develop a Spartan work ethic. Instead of complaining about it, he used the challenge to transform himself. He has said his dyslexia forced him to see the big picture instead of being mired in details. This has helped his speaking because audiences are often bored with details. His dyslexia also forces him to memorize major sections of his presentation and to prepare more diligently than most, giving his presentation a rare kind of immediacy and freshness. When memorized material is presented with liveliness, it's anything but rote and the opposite of words read from a page. John Chambers is not just a survivor of the damaging childhood handicap. He did not let his handicap dominate his life. He worked hard to develop self-confidence and as a result, he is a business leader who speaks with conviction and clarity about people's dreams, the value of his products, and the big picture we all want to see. Stop punishing yourself. What you accept completely in your mind, you will get in your experience regardless of condition, circumstances, or the powers that be. Affirm these truths. Promotion in yours, success is yours, right action is yours, wealth is yours. As you do this, these truths will be deposited in your subconscious mind, the creative medium, and wonders will happen in your life. A legal secretary complained to her pastor, I never get the breaks. The boss, the boss and the other people in the office are mean and cruel to me. My relatives have mistreated me at home all my life. There must be some kind of jinx following me. I'm no good. I should jump in the lake. Her pastor explained to her that she was mentally cruel to herself and that her self-flagellation and self-pity must have substantiation and confirmation on the external plane of life. If you are mean to yourself, other people are going to mean to you wherever you go in this universe. If you think you are a worm, everybody is going to step on you. In other words, the attitudes and actions of those around her attested to and confirmed her inner state of mind. She thereupon immediately ceased punishing herself. She pictured herself being congratulated by her employer for very efficient work. She also imaged him announcing an increase in salary for her. She constantly diffused love and goodwill to her employer and to all her associates. Having faithfully sustained her mental image many times a day for several weeks, she was completely dumbfounded when her employer not only congratulated her on her work but also some months later promoted her to a management position. In a few hours' time she realized the wonder of the deeper mind. She had found the key that unlocked the treasure house.